You are in Colombia, ready to travel, discover this beautiful country, but are wondering, should you tip? And if so, how much? When? Then stay on this video because we're going to dive into the do's and don'ts of tipping culture in Colombia. Welcome to a new chapter of local tips for travelers. First things first. In Colombia, tipping is not mandatory, but it is greatly appreciated. However, there are some little twists that you might encounter on the way. So let's break it down on when and how much should you tip. Really quickly, I'm Juani.
And I'm Aleja.
We are local hosts in Bogota, Colombia and founders of
Fisgona Tours.
And in our channel, you're going to find insightful information to plan your trip to Bogota and Colombia.
And remember, if you want to discover Bogota in a unique and fun way, you can always book a tour with us to discover the city beside local experts. So,
See you in Bogota! Restaurants. By default, in restaurants, cafes, bars, the tip is 10%. And usually, before you get the bill, they will ask you if you want to include the tip or el servicio in the bill. Now, there are some restaurants that are just adding that charge directly into the bill, but you should know that you can accept or decline that charge. However, it's also important that you know that whenever you decline the charge, it is understood by locals as if you didn't like the service or the food that you got. So we usually don't decline it unless the service is horrible. Also, in the restaurants or in bars or in cafes, when you pay that tip that is added to your bill, that amount is equally divided amongst the people working in service. So that includes the waitress or the waitresses, or the cooks or the people washing the dishes and so on and so forth. So if you have an extraordinary experience, you can always leave a little extra to that person that made your day. Taxis. Usually taxi drivers do not expect a tip. However, rounding up the fare is very common among Colombians. So, for instance, if you have a trip and it costs 9,000 pesos, we would usually give a 10,000 pesos bill to the taxi driver and let them keep the change. It's a small tip and they really appreciate it, especially during Christmas time. Now, if we take a taxi from and to the airport and the taxi driver, they go the extra mile, they help you with the luggage, then we will leave them a 2,000 or 5,000 bill as a thank you. And this same amount applies for Ubers or Cabifys when they provide a very good service. Tipping tour guides and drivers. Well, as local hosts, we can tell you that we love and really appreciate when you guys give us tips. It's a great way to know that you enjoyed both the service and that you acknowledge all the effort we put in for you to have a memorable experience. So yes, we love them and we thank them so much, and we know our peers do the same. Usually for private tours and group tours, the common tip goes between 10% and 20% of the service. However, if you are taking a free tour, know that the only income for both the company and the guide is the tips you give. So we highly advise you tip between $10 and $15 per person. Beauty and wellness services. What if you want to go to the salon to get a little relaxation time? Here we also tip, and it all depends of what you get done. So for instance, if you get your nails done or your hair done, usually we give a 5,000 or 10,000 bill to that person. But if you have a more complex service done, like for instance a massage, usually we tip between the 5 or the 10% depending on the service you get. And last, here are some tips for you to master tipping culture in Colombia. So first, make sure to carry small bill denominations like 2,000 or 5,000 bills. and avoid to tip with coins. Some people might not receive that well here in Colombia because we tend to connect the coins with the idea of begging for money. So it's always better to have the small bills and tip with those. Second, euro, US dollars, Colombian pesos, they are all very well received and appreciated as tips. Other currencies, not that much. And that's because they are harder to exchange here in the country. And last, and very important, the tipping is up to your own personal discretion. You can adjust the amount depending on the quality of the service you got, your overall satisfaction, and of course, your own personal budget. So, with that, we end the video today. We hope these tips and this information is useful for you guys to make the most of your experience in our beautiful country. But wait, before you leave, I'm Juani, founder of Zebra Fisgona Tours. We have over 15 tours here in Bogota, Colombia, and we would love to show you around. So let us know in the comments what you thought about this video. Check out our website, and I hope to see you in Bogota. Bye!